life. It's your life that is now on every Tuesday. For the ones who know what It's Your Life is, I'm sure you've already had a lot of really good experiences. I'm sure there was a lot that you could take out of all these amazing speakers we had in the past. We started off on the 1st of April with every day. So if you think you missed something good, because I'm sure you did, because all the talks were so amazingly good, you can go to my website, mindyourpower.org. It's Your Life, all speakers, and listen to all these amazing talks and really get some really good techniques to relax, to feel good, to just be healthy in your mind and in your body. For the ones who don't know me, my name is Muna Abdurrahim Santal. I'm the owner of Mind Your Power. And at Mind Your Power, everything is about your power. Everything is about taking back control over your life and not allowing whatever is happening outside to really control how you feel. And this is exactly what all these amazing speakers have been speaking about, you know, how to breathe, how to meditate, how to do some NLP techniques. We had so much. But now let's come to today, because today we have another amazing speaker. And today Tatiana will talk to us about two things, actually. Two things that are very much related to one another. Tatiana Parsons is a hypnotherapist. She's also an NLP practitioner. She's also an EFT practitioner. She's also a yoga and meditation practitioner. And she also does Pilates. I think she teaches Pilates. She believes in the mind-body connection, and she works with both the body and the mind together. So she combines whatever it is. If it's yoga, she combines it with hypnotherapy. She combines EFT with NLP. She combines the thing to have body and mind both relaxed and healthy. I'm sure many of you know what prana is. I'm sure many of you will know what energy is. However, Tatiana will today just explain a little bit about our meridians, our chakras, a little bit about the energy systems, and then she will take you through EFT. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and I won't say a lot about it. You know, it's just that many people probably know it as tapping technique, and so you will actually. This is a very interactive session. So she'll just speak a little bit and then she will actually do a lot with you. So the first part is really an interactive EFT session. And after that, very exciting, because this is the first time I heard about it, she will do chair yoga. So you don't need a mat, you don't need anything, just your chair, wherever you're sitting, and we will do some chair yoga together. So I've spoken enough. Welcome everybody. I don't know where you are all from, but I think I can see different countries. I can definitely see Germany. I think the US, definitely Dubai, and I don't know about the others. If you have a question after the EFT, please ask it then before we start the yoga, so we don't mix everything. And now back to Tatiana, or over to Tatiana. The floor is all yours, please, Tatiana. I'm very happy that you are here with us today. Very happy that you're sharing something that I think many people love, because many people love the word yoga. And today, you know, especially combining it now with EFT, I'm sure it will be a great session. Welcome, Tatiana. Over to you.
Namaste, everybody, as we say. Hello. I'm happy to see all these faces. Many of you I know, some of you I don't, and it's nice that you joined us. Thank you very much. And yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about body, mind, and I would say energy connection, or some people call it spirit, or whatever you call it. Just the concept of kind of, I would say, one system approach, and obviously yoga and EFT and other energy psychology disciplines and practices are talking about now. And just a little excursus in the past, as far as 5,000-6,000 years ago, it was pretty normal to look at the person, at the being, human being, as a combination of physical and energy or spiritual components, right? So when you would come to the doctor or shaman or whatever, they would look at you not just as body separately and your mind separated, like unlike the Western modern medicine, which is quite young comparing to all this 5,000, 6,000 years ago knowledge, it is pretty young, I would say, and it's kind of separated. If you have physical issue, you will go to the physician. If you have emotional issue, you'll go to the psychologist or psychiatrist and things like that. So just want to do a little bit of an excursus as well. In 1995, 1997, there was studies, such as studies called ACE, and many of you have heard of it. It calls Adverse Childhood Experience. And you can take ACE test very easily online now. So what are the questions they were asking? Basically about childhood traumas. There are questions like, was anybody in the family abusing alcohol? Or was there any physical abuse or emotional abuse like swearing? Did you feel neglected? Did you feel your physical needs were not met? And the questions like, was it any physical abuse and sexual abuse? So if you get a high score on that test, they did a further observation of people who did a high score and a low score. And even the childhood for most of them, for many of them, was very, very like back many years ago, and they were all adults. Still, the echo of this experience, abuse experience, was in their system. Physical, so their lifespan was shorter. There was lots of alcohol, drug abuse. There was lots of violence. So also, additionally to that, tests about the same time, it was in 1980s, Kaiser Permanent Obesity Clinic in San Diego did some other findings, like among 268 interviewed people, obese people, experienced childhood abuse, majority of them. So it means that there was a link between the childhood and the present, how people develop and what they achieved in their life, how healthy mentally and physically they be. And around that time, people started accepting and acknowledging that your emotions, your memories, and your habits influence mental and physical health. And about the same time, energy psychology appeared in the form of EFT and also TFT, or thought field therapy by Roger Gallahan and some other practices. Basically, what is energy psychology is a modern approach, kind of therapy, which combines Eastern approaches to the mind and body with Western psychology and psychotherapy ideas. So basically they started looking back in time, right? 5,000, 6,000 years ago, in Chinese medicine influenced a lot. So energy psychology focuses on the relationship between the thoughts, emotions, and sensations and behaviors, and bioenergy systems, which is meridians or biofield or magnetic field, as well as this. And they combined all this Western ancient approach and modern findings, the scientific researchers. So basically, if we take back 5,000-6,000 years ago and take the Chinese medicine, which didn't change much of their concept till now, and alike if you take Ayurveda, which is Indus Valley civilization 6000 BC, and they have got similar approach, similar research. I'm sure many of you have heard of this Marma therapy. Marma is basically also like acupuncture points. Also, they have lots of points on the body. They believe in the system of energy points and energy channels. In Chinese, they call it meridians. In Ayurveda, they call it nadis, where the prana energy force is going through, flowing. So what these disciplines, what these beliefs are, is that we all have got, all living beings, living creatures like plants and animals and human beings, they've got the energy or prana flowing through the body. And it's the same kind of intelligence that runs the planets to spin in a certain order, like that runs the order of the universe. So this energy or intelligence or consciousness, as we call it, about that finding was kind of known that long ago. And if you take the Sanskrit word prana, it means, pra means exist before, and na means atom. And it means that something existing before the atom, the energy, and they mentioning, the funniest thing they're mentioning at that time about atom, which is like so many thousands years before the microscopes was invented. And let's come back to the modern kind of times, 1940s. This Soviet inventor called Semyon Kirlian, and you've all probably heard about this Kirlian photography of auras. So this guy basically during his experiment, realized that all living creatures, including the plants, have got some kind of, you can capture some kind of electromagnetic field when you take certain Kirlian photography style. And if even you take a plant and cut half of the leaf and make a photography, on the photography it will show kind of the biofield, the electromagnetic or infrared or whatever the colors that it will show, that the leaf will be the laser wall. So there will be a kind of a consciousness, kind of a part of this leaf that it still will represent the wall, the leaf itself, if even it's like, as I said, just cut it in half. And also I'd like to remember one more experiment made by the doctor, physician actually, Duncan McDougall, at the beginning of 20th century, at 1907. It's called 21-gram experiment, and probably you also heard about it. Basically, he would be measuring the weight of dying people just before the death and after they've taken the last breath. And funnily enough, and I think after him, there was also this experiment repeated, and it's always 21 gram. So what it is, this 21 gram, and what it is energy, what it is, we call it spirit or whatever you call it. So the science is still searching for answers and evidences, because the science, even if it is very new, comparing to so many years ago, for example, Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, since it is very strict discipline. And the researches are still going on, and we are waiting more and more light on that bioenergy, biofield. And meanwhile, we all can experience actually this energy of other persons. Sometimes you come into the room, into the place, I don't know, casino or somewhere else, or let's take it simple. Sometimes you are very close to somebody and you just don't feel right. It's very likely that you kind of picked up on that person's aura, and you can feel it. As soon as you move away from that field, you feel better. So if you went already to some psychics, or maybe you have got these abilities, and they are developing quite naturally if you pay attention. So you can start seeing, or people can start seeing auras, and that's already as well known to everyone. So why I'm talking all these things about the energies and subtle bodies. Basically, the topic of our conversation today is EFT, and that's where AFT comes from or to. You call it as you want. So basically, what is EFT? EFT is a tapping sequence that helps us release and let go of negative energy from our system through the tapping to the meridians. The same meridians as we use during acupuncture or acupressure. And at the same time, EFT has got one more component. We're going to talk about it later. It's kind of NLP reframing. So we talk through the problem. We don't just swipe under the bed, you know, our negative emotions. We also talk through them. So based on that two principles, the meridian system, the energy blocks in the body, release, and the talking about it, EFT shown with the practice as a very efficient tool to release anger, to release fears, to release stress, anxiety, even insomnia, and also pain, physical pain like headaches, migraines, and as well, there are lots of practitioners all over the world who use it. For example, Carol Luke, she's follower of Gary Craig, the creator of the method, and she uses it for cataract and reduce and for the sight vision improvement in people, and she's got a big research in that. So there is different foundations and EFTs taught at school. And I wanted to show you little videos, but Mona told me that the quality isn't really good. So basically in this video, they tell about the practice at schools, and also that you can see sometimes the performers, the athletes are using EFT, like rugby players, just before the match, you can see like they're tapping. So it's getting, and it's walking into our life. And fortunately, it is happening and in the schools as well. So they're teaching children to do so. So what is these blockages we're talking about? We're talking about the meridians, and yeah, that's fine, the energy flows. And so what's happening when the negative emotion, and what it is negative emotion? I'm sure you all had that moment in your life when you were in love. And I'm not talking about romantic love, which is obviously as well one of the forms, but in the project, or, you know, you were just like so, you know, everything was just easy these days. You did your job, your relationship with your children or your friends were great. And you just felt this flow, as we call it, yoga, in yoga, moving with the flow. And when you felt really great and high and you didn't feel tired. And there are some days, especially when you have something, I don't know, something nasty happens at you early in the morning. For example, your boss suddenly gets so angry and raises the voice or even shouts. And for some people, they kind of shut down, something shut down, and all the day afterwards gets, you know, kind of awkward. You feel you get offended in the shop, or you just picked up on something and you carry on this day with this kind of interrupted flow, so as we call blockage. And normally our bodies, our channels are created in this way that we release somehow, maybe with, I don't know, doing something, exercises, walking around, connecting to the nature. But sometimes the traumas are quite deep, and it takes time and it takes effort to release it. Post-traumatic or fears or phobias. Basically, this is the blockages in the system. And that what is EFT is going to help us to release. Or sometimes we want to release it earlier, before, okay? My kids are being annoying and I feel anger, and either I act on it and go and shout, either I just want to let go and release. So in this case, I also can use EFT. And I like to finish before we start our actual practical, because I don't like to, you know, talking too much, by the Gary Craig's quote. Let me just, find it. So the cause of all negative emotions is the disruptions in the body energy system. That's what Gary Craig believed. And he also believed that we can release it. And for now, I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. So you will see a procedure how we're gonna release. And meanwhile, maybe if you have any questions and if you'd like to unmute yourself before we start the actual practical session, the EFT, the tapping. Yeah, so basically we're gonna be tapping the points, yeah, maybe on the head. So yeah, collarbones here, here, and I will lead you and guide you through the sequence. And before we do that, if somebody wants to be a volunteer, if you have any physical pain in the body, or if you have any emotion that you'd like to release or increase, it also works for the positive. So if you'd like to volunteer, you are most welcome. Otherwise, we will do just a normal procedure, and I will take a very general word like stress. And when you do it with me, you can say whatever you want. It can be pain, word pain. It can be, okay, it can be word anxiety if you feel so. It can be anger or anything that you feel like let go. So now you can see the EFT and Garment procedure. And I will talk about Garment after we do it. Let's just do it, play around and do it, and then we will see and talk about it. Okay, so first of all, there are 5 steps in this process. First of all, you're gonna identify the issue. And in my case, as I don't have volunteers today, it's gonna be word stress. Then I'm gonna identify, and you can do it in your mind as well, stress or pain or whatever you've chosen, SUDS or subjective units of discomfort. So when 1 is you don't feel anything to 10 is like you feel a lot of this emotion. So you choose, you pick 1 and choose. For example, in my case, let's say stress 5. Then we do the setup. So we basically talk about the stress. So I'm acknowledging I have the stress, and that's the difference as well between EFT and the positive, only positive and affirmation psychology, because if we have a negative feeling, we don't turn away from it, we talk through it. And as you see further on, we're gonna reframe it as well. So I'm gonna say 3 times, even though I have this stress, I choose to love and accept myself. And we're gonna do it 3 times. And then we go through the sequence, basically the tapping. As we tap, we're gonna say this word, stress, stress, the first top of the head, then the very corner of your eye, then under your eye, then under your nose between your lip, then the chin point and the collarbone point. You can see the collarbone, and when you tap onto it, you can try it now, and we'll go together. So it's a bit like a hollow sound. Okay, and then under the armpit, just slightly umbrief, ladies here, so it's a kind of a bra level. And we're gonna just talk stress, stress, stress. And then we will do together the Garment, and I'm gonna lead you through that. Okay, so give me a little nod that you're ready, guys. Good. Have you chosen what are we gonna tapping at today? Okay, so bring that feeling and identify the SUDS. Okay, and let's start. Even though I have this stress, I choose to laugh and completely accept myself. Even though, and I tap the karate chop point, even though I have this stress, I choose to laugh and completely accept myself. And please don't be shy and do it out loud. That will be much more powerful. Even though I feel the stress, I choose to love and accept myself. This stress, top of your head, very top, you know, kind of a crown chakra, top, this stress, and then corner of your eye, this stress, oh, this stress, and then under your eye, where the bone is finishing, kind of. And because it is a kind of a night time, go gentle. You don't want to overstimulate your channels. So this stress, this stress, and under your nose. This stress, between the lower lip and the chin, this kind of stress, this stress. We keep talking through the tapping. Then the collarbone, stress, this stress, this stress. Wonderful. So the Garmut point is a continuation of your pinky finger and the ring finger. There is a hollow kind of place here. So we tap in here and we just massage it here. And I ask you to close your eyes, then open your eyes, then look down to the right, then look down to the left hard, then roll your eyes clockwise, then roll your eyes anti-clockwise. And then hum about 5 seconds. Happy birthday to you out loud. Hum. And say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then once again. Wonderful. Well done, guys. And I'd like you to check your SADS now. What do you feel now around that issue? And sometimes we still feel something, and then we go the second and third round, and this time we're gonna say, even though I still have some remaining of stress, let's just do second round, so we will get more kind of comfortable with the tapping, and then just in case, and then we can discuss, and you can ask questions or share what do you feel. Okay, let's just do it once again. Even though I still have got this remaining, a little bit remaining of the stress, first, I still choose to love and accept myself, even though I still have got the stress procedure. I still choose to love and accept myself, even though I have this stress remaining. I still choose to love and accept myself. This stress, top of your head, corner of your eyes, this stress, and then under your eyes, still this stress, and under your nose, this stress, and this stress, and armpit, this stress, wonderful. And massage or tap the Garmut point. Close your eyes, open your eyes, look down to the right hard, look down to the right hard, and then roll your eyes clockwise and anti-clockwise, keeping your head straight. You're doing great, guys. I can see it, wonderful. And hum. And then count out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hum around 5 seconds again. Okay, and you can repeat the rounds if you need it. I'll stop sharing the screen now. If you'd like to have a look at this information in the future, I can send it to you, you can reach, or I can send it to Mona and she will share. I've got a file, very little explanation about this method, and actually the steps, step by step. So I wish you enjoy, I wish you use it. Beautiful tool, and you can use it anywhere. If you are in the public places, that may be enough, you know, just a karate chop and then fingers. You can find shortcut in the M of free website. I can also share, it's Gary Greig's website. So Gary Greig is the inventor of this method, EFT. He was engineer actually, but he was so interested in self-improvement, and she learned TFT from Roger Gallahan, and he kind of simplified this very detailed acupuncture method and made it available and straight away usable by the public. So he basically brought it into light and shared it like I do now. I share with you, and you can find a lot of videos. And I just want to mention a little bit about the Garmut point. It's a 5-step procedure Garmut point. And then what we did with ice, it also comes from energy psychology part called EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. hard words, right? So basically what it is based on, there is a Frances Shapiro. She was a psychiatrist, and once she walked in the park, I think it was at the end of 80s, and then she realized that by changing the way she looked, the direction, her feelings and emotions would change. So she started working with the patients, and especially with those who had trauma, and she noticed that when they talked about their trauma, their eyes would look in one direction, the certain direction, and then she started experimenting, and she would ask them to talk through the trauma again and look to the different direction, kind of change the direction, change the flow, change the focus, and their feelings about the same trauma would change, would shift. And she now, even still nowadays, this principle AMDR is used in the trauma release, stress release, post-traumatic stress syndromes, just like EFT is famous. You know, Gary Craig worked on cameras with Iraqi war veterans, with Vietnamese war veterans, and there's lots of evidence showing huge shifts in this releasing of trauma, releasing of this stuck, blocked energy, and making the people's lives much better. So give me your feedbacks or...
Tatiana, before you go on, we do have a couple of comments and a couple of questions that I would like to ask here. Mainly also, just for everybody else, the replay, of course, will be on YouTube, will be on my website, will be, it is playing on Facebook right now, so it will stay on there also. But if you do go to my website, again, mindyourpower.org, it's your life of speakers, you will have everything that the speakers have shared so far. So all the documents that Tatiana wants to share will be on there, and you can download them from there. Also, Tatiana, Danielle is saying if possible to put the links of the videos that you mentioned earlier. Maybe you can also send me these links. Danielle is asking, is it a combination of EFT and EMDR and havening?
It is still EFT with, I would say, a little bit of DMR, though on the Gary Craig side, it still goes under EFT. So whatever you call it, you can call it yoga, you can call it EFT, it's all the same. I just want to emphasize, we're working with the body and energy. And some people like EFT, here's a trademark. For example, TFT is Tapas Fleming. He got his thing and he called it TFT. And before that, oh sorry, TAT, Tapas Acupressure Therapy. And there is TFT by Roger Gallahan. So there are lots of names and lots of things, but yes, you're right. We used MDNR principle, which also nobody created. This lady, Frances Shapiro, noticed it and she used it. So basically we notice something which works and we use it. We don't know how, we're not scientists here, and I'm not trying to prove that it's scientific, but what is working that we're using. And having in, it's another technique when you, I would say it's a lot of NLP here, because if I would work with you one by one, I would give you not suggestions, a question. And this fear, for example, if you worked with fear, is reminding me of, and maybe something would pop up, maybe some other feeling, and then you would start working and tapping on that feeling and unwrap this feeling and next feeling and next emotion or whatever it was, like a bit like a cabbage towards the core, and then releasing the core emotion. So, okay. Do you have to tap on the right hand or the left? It doesn't matter. The beauty of this method, you don't have to think about it at all. And you can do both hands. I can see sometimes people do both hands. And you just go with the flow. And also there is a shortcut. Just next to the nail, each finger you tap. If you don't want, in the public area, you get, some caught in the emotion, you can start with a thumb. You can see me now, thumb, then the index finger, then the middle finger. No, you miss one of them. So you miss the ring finger, I think, and then you go to the pinky. So you can do that, or you can just tap maybe under your armpit. The beauty of this method, you don't really need to follow the procedure to get the results. Maybe you just need to tap a bit longer. And also I wanted to mention, there is a tapping solution foundation. You can have a look. It's started after 2012 shooting. I remember there was a shooting at the Sandy Hook Elementary School when 28 people died and 20 first grade kids. And then they had obviously post-traumatic stress disorders. And that's how this foundation started. And it's just huge now. You can Google it and yeah, see it. So that's about EFT. And I think that yoga is kind of a very logical continuation of EFT. So about yoga, I started my yoga journey more than 18 years ago. Before I had my family and before I worked in the stressful shipping company, and everyone was smoking there. And I came from university and I realized I need to start smoking as well because everything was, you know, shared during the cigarette break. My boss was smoking, all my colleagues. And luckily enough, at the same time, I came to my first yoga class back in Moscow. And I think I felt like I came out and I was always in sport, you know, I wasn't like somebody who never was in sport. First time I thought it was weird, but I suddenly feel good about myself. And it's not like I did everything perfect. I was far from, you know, I didn't know what to do. And then when they say the down dog, I was like looking around. Then I went to the second class, and then to the third. And then I realized that I couldn't smoke, you know, like it's not like I was addicted too much, but it was just something, you know, completely I couldn't. And many people, you know, my students as well, they find those shifts, you know, in their relationship and the way they perceive the world. Even, you know, sometimes people are living abusive relationships. I know some ladies, my students, who said, I started yoga and I feel like I've been, you know, like I shouldn't put myself down and I should stand up for myself. Or without intention, they quit smoking, they stopped or, you know, reduced their drinking habits, and they just not resonate with their body. They basically stopped doing self-sabotage behaviors. And now I understand, because when we work through yoga, we work with our channels as well, with our prana. And when you feel good about yourself, when you feel love, when you feel flow, when I say love, I mean in a general way, in a way of flow, and a way of prana, without the blockage, then you don't really get caught in the negative emotions, which is very often, you know, the kind of a trigger for smoking, drinking, you know, abusing of substances, or just fights and, you know, things like that. So people are changing just by doing yoga. So I believe if you want to good positive change in your life, do whatever you do. You don't really need to change your life, but start doing some yoga and you will be on the right path. Or Qi or Qigong, you know, any of this, or EFT tapping. So today, very quickly, just to finish all this, we are going to do some Kundalini technique, like Kundalini chair yoga, I would say. So the best experience of our prana and our energy is through the breath. The first thing we do on the life, and how we can recognize if we're alive or not alive, is through the breath. So breath is the bridge between the body and, you know, and the very subtle energy. So it's something more kind of in between the very material and slightly subtle. So in yoga, we focus a lot in Tai Chi as well on the breath because of that. And changing the breath is going to change your flow. So let's start with I don't want to educate, guys. I mean, I could have, if we would like, about the chakra. You all know that we've got a few energy centers around the body, and we start with the lower one, it's kind of root chakra. And the exercise for that one, you can choose. Either you sit like me on the chair. Sorry for the noise. I'm gonna turn off my mic now. Hear me? Still?
Oh yeah.
Cool. So, guys, we're gonna sit or stand, it's up to you. And you adopt the mudra, okay? Chin mudra or Gyan mudra it's called. It's also about the energy, and it's another talk I could talk about, you know, so that's the finding. So in our arms, it's a lot of energy channels. So basically it's for concentration, for focus, and for learning. It's very good. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna inhale kind of forcefully and exhale. And I'm sorry guys, just before we go, I want you to start breathing with your belly breath. It's just for our last exercise. As I mentioned about the breath, put your hand on your belly. And when you breathe, do like this. So you breathe out with a force, with the effort. Breathe in with automatically. It's called fire breath and kundalini, or Kapalabhati. So you breathe out as if you're spitting the air through the nose. You breathe in and breathe out through the nose. Put your palm on your belly. Let's practice just a few times. So you flap your belly, lower belly, below the navel. And yeah, that's the breath we're going to use during the first and probably last exercise. And if it doesn't happen as you think it should be, don't worry about it. Just take it as it is right now, and let's go. We're going to do it for around a minute, each exercise on each chakra, so it shouldn't take us too long. Can I use my magic clock? Okay, come on guys, let's go. And I'm going to share now the screen. Breathing in and out forcefully. Breathing in and out really forcefully. Okay, I'm gonna put on some music. Let me know how it feels. Okay, breathe in. It's another 30 seconds to my calculations. So no, it doesn't want the music either. And that's fine. And also, if you want to stand up, you can stand up. And if you sit, you can just lift your right and left leg. Okay, so either you stand, you can do it standing and lift your knee, okay? Either you sit and still lift your knee as you do it, okay? One at a time. And let's continue for another 30 seconds. Can you hear some music?
Okay, so we see you.
Wonderful, 10 more seconds. 2 more breaths. Doing good, guys. Now relax your shoulders, bring your feet down, and take a deep, deep breath for me. And as you breathe in, pull the navel in, pull the all internal organs in, and slightly pull them up, and focus on your third eye. Just relax your eyes into the third eye, and hold here 3 more seconds for me. Feeling the energy rising from your lower chakra. And slowly let go. Okay. How are you feeling, guys? Our second exercise in the chair Kundalini Yoga is going to be focusing on the sacral and maybe a little bit on the third chakra, the sacral, where the energy center, where our pelvic floor is. And the third one is just below the navel. And let's do the next exercise. Also sitting on the chair, you're going to inhale, kind of lift the sternum up, and as you exhale, you kind of shrink, kind of put the shoulders. And you are, the main thing is happening not in the shoulders, but in your waist. So a little bit like in the lower back, okay? A bit like you're riding a horse. Make your forceful breathing, please. Lift the sternum up and then close it by moving the lower back. Close your eyes and focus in your third eye and that space between your brows. Wonderful. Stay with this movement. And I know that it's at the beginning when you practice, just resting your eyes in the third eye takes some effort. As you practice it more, you'll find it easier just to rest your eyes. "20 more seconds, guys. You don't need to tilt your head. Just move the lower back and shoulders, the sternum up, in, up, in, up, in. 2 more breaths. And relax now, relax the shoulders. And again, please take a deep inhalation in. Pull your internal organs, pull the navel in and up, and rest your eyes in the third eye with your closed eyes. Wonderful. Kind of into your pituitary gland, the master of the glands, and then slowly relax and release. Lifting through the chest kind of exercise. So now we're moving forward, moving up into the center, into our heart center, right? We're gonna do some twists. So we're gonna put our hands, our palms like this, okay? And we're gonna start from the left. We're gonna inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Forceful breathing. Make sure that you are not spinning your pelvis. The best thing is to fix your feet, fix your pelvis. The best thing to do, obviously, on the floor or on something that doesn't move. But if you're there, just try to fix. Moving throughout the body. Rest your eyes in the gaze on your third eye. All the spinal exercise. We're gonna rise the energy. We're gonna help. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Another 30 seconds. Improve the flow of energy. In Ayurveda, in Indian science, there is a main energy channel, your spinal column, and parasympathetic and sympathetic, Ida and Pingala. So looking after your spine is so important for the flow of our energy, and science as well says the same. That the spine is so important, vital. Okay? Breathe forcefully, look at your third eye. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right, and relax in a few moments. Close your eyes, look at your third eye. Inhale, pull the navel in, pull all the perineum muscles, everything in and up, and draw your attention, bring it up towards your third eye. Hold your breath for a few more seconds, as long as you can, and if you feel you need to breathe, of course, please go and breathe. So you're doing all these exercises, yeah, for the spine, central nervous system is so important. Okay, our next part is our shoulders and neck. We have one chakra here as well, and it also affects the heart chakra. And in the shoulders, as you know, as the therapist or maybe practitioner, you know that shoulders store a lot of negative energy. And by just moving the shoulders will help to release these blocks, make the shoulders more soft. So shoulders are storages of our stress and anxiety. Have you noticed if it's a fear, like you get tense? So let's release this tension. Again, with a lot of noise, make noises, don't be shy. Inhale, pull into your ears, and without any effort, just relax. We're gonna stay here for a minute again, guys. So release all your tension from your shoulders. Pull them and just drop. Pull them and just drop. And look in your third eye, close your eyes. This is time for yourself. And how silly you look, it doesn't matter. And sometimes people feel emotional as they start tapping into the stress. Especially if they do it in Kundalini, like 5-7 minutes. Sometimes people want to give up. Please, I'm asking you, don't give up. Just release it. Shake it all out. You don't need it. Let this relax the stress out of your system, neck and shoulders. Release. Let go. Ten more seconds, guys. You're doing great. Two more breaths. And drop it. Wonderful. And now feel maybe some more space in your shoulders. Close your eyes. And then take one deep breath for me again. Squeezing the belly in, rising all your pelvic organs and muscles up, 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 and gazing into your third eye. And just hold the breath for me as long as you can. Looking and gazing at the third eye. Some people notice some colors there. Some people notice some kind of vibrating sensations, and that is fine. Whenever you need, take this breath in. Come back. Thank you, guys. So the last one is aura charge, as we call it in Kundalini, woo-woo. Okay, you will feel as well or visualize some energy. So what we do for aura charge, for our last for today, you take your thumbs up like this, can you see? And you put your fingers, press them to your palm, and you stretch your arms, okay? You stretch your arms up like this, and you rest your shoulders down, okay? And now, if possible, if it's not, it's fine, but if possible, fire breathing, flopping the belly. Shoulders down, arms are really strong like antennas. Imagine you're charging your aura and this is your antennas. You can stand up if you want, that's fantastic if you're standing. And now I'd like you to close your eyes again and gaze in your third eye. We're gonna stay there for 1.5 minutes. And as I said, if there is some discomfort, just go through it. Keep charging your aura slightly higher, or maybe a little bit higher if possible. With your eyes closed, imagine like a light between your thumbs. And you are like an antenna. Maybe the light throughout all your body. Kind of a rainbow between your thumbs. Keep going, guys. You're doing great. I can see you're doing great. Just keep charging, keep breathing. If you feel a little bit like to ease your breath, to slow it down, go ahead, but don't give up. We're doing fantastic. Eyes closed, focus on your third eye. 20 more seconds, guys. Ten more seconds, please. Bring this time for yourself, strong arms. And if possible for you guys, don't open your eyes, just listen to me. You bring your arms up and your thumbs are meeting together. Bring them together, okay? And then you open your other fingers. Squeeze them together and open, shoulders down, elbows straight if possible. Shoulders down, elbows straight. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Squeeze your belly. Gaze at your third eye. Hold it as long as you can. If you want, you can breathe in again, squeeze the belly in, rise your energy, up, 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 belly in, all the organs in and up, gazing at your third eye. Your fingers together as a steel, thumbs touching. Wonderful. And just release and relax. Roll the shoulders down. Okay, thank you very much. Namaste. You were great. Loved it. Good energy. I can feel it.
Wow. Tatiana, this was like more than any exercise or any gym. Wow. Thank you so much. It is, I always had the notion that yoga is relaxing.
It is.
Do we have any questions or any comments here for Tatiana? While you're typing, maybe, or you can also unmute yourself and talk. I have very, very tingling fingers. This is probably very normal, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
It is that you feel the energy. Yeah. So it is the same thing as EFT, I would say, right? We're working with an energy. And I think that people who come to listen about this topic, it resonates, the theme of that we're not only our body, we're not only our thoughts. We have this bioenergy field. People can call it aura, people can call it spirit, right? Like body, mind, and spirit. I prefer to call it body, mind, and energy. Energy is something we cannot capture with the eyes or touch, but it's there, like electromagnetic, like infrared, infraviolet, or whatever. So the form can be different, but something that you, yeah. So if you have any question, guys, thank you very much for coming. And
Petra is saying, fantastic, so good and energetic. Yes, it does. Okay, Tana is saying, thank you. Feeling totally relaxed. Great, yay. I guess now it's just after that, you just drop to bed.
Yeah. Have a good flow, everybody.
Okay, then if there are no more questions, Tatiana, many, many, many thanks for, you know, something really new. I've never done yoga sitting in a chair. Danielle is saying thanks a million too. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for everybody being with us here. And as I said before, if you would like to see the rest of the recordings, the rest of the replays, please do go to my website. It's again mindyourpower.org, and then just go to It's Your Life, all speakers. You can also get Tatiana's email and Facebook and Instagram on there. You will get her contact details. Well, one more thing that I do have for those of you who are here on the series for the very first time, I think we had a couple of people here the first time following It's Your Life. I'm always looking for someone who would like to talk. And I always say, you know, whatever you have to share, it doesn't need to be a very, very scientific or any, you know, doctorate work or anything like that. If you do have anything to share with people, a technique like today Tatiana did, anything, then please send me an email. My email address is Mona, M-O-N-A, @mindyourpower.org. And every Tuesday we have a talk, so I'd be very happy to host you one of these Tuesdays. And now all I can say is go and relax, everyone. Oh, it really feels, I think my pace of my talking is much slower now, right? I'm so relaxed. So thank you again, Tatiana. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to everybody watching. And I hope to see you next Tuesday again.